ISO 17025 is the leading standard for laboratories. Contrary to other ISO standards, in this type of standard we are seeking accreditation rather than certification. Accreditation will give you the power to be able to do recognized tests as an approved laboratory. So the benefits that are relevant for this type of certification are varied. First of all, business growth. By being ISO 17025 accredited, you are able to have the recognition, the global recognition, to do recognized tests. And this will invariably open different types of markets for your organization. Also, by having this type of accreditation, you will enhance the reputation of your laboratory in the general market, whereby your tests will be accepted even for the most rigorous and strict industries. By looking at the management system that your laboratory is using, we will find opportunities where you can save time and money by working in a more efficient way through identifying areas for improvement in your operations. And the final benefit is that in general, by having this type of accreditation, you will have compliance assurance, as you will be making sure that you are following the requirements of this international standard. And the industries that can decide to go for this type of accreditation are, for example, laboratories within the construction industries who check materials used within the construction, or, for example, to test the quality of road surfaces. Other types of laboratories include, for example, companies testing the random number generators of gaming companies. Or another type of laboratory might be to check the quality of water that is being supplied by an organization. So, ISO 17025 accreditation is useful for any type of laboratory except for medical laboratories, where there is another specific standard for such laboratories. If this is the type of accreditation that your business needs, I would love to help you to tap into the current funding opportunities that are available by the government of Malta for companies who are seeking this type of accreditations. As an approved advisor by Malta Enterprise, I can help you to identify and tap into the right funding opportunities for the accreditation of ISO 17025, and that is actually the first step that we would start working on should we decide to work with one another. The first step when setting up a meeting with me to discuss ISO 17025 would be to, first of all, explain the benefits and how ISO 17025 accreditation will impact your organization, and I will also explain the type of funding opportunities that exist right now, and I will also be able to give you an exact amount of the funding that your organization might be eligible to. The next step would be to actually apply for funding, and only once you receive the grant agreement from the government of Malta will we start with the implementation. The first step that we will do in the actual implementation of the ISO 17025 standard will be that of identifying the systems that you are doing right now to gather data, perform the test, and communicate the results with your client. After having successfully mapped out all the systems that you are using right now, then we will compare what you are doing right now to what the ISO 17025 standard requires of your organization. And this will give us a gap of what you have right now to what you need to have to be compliant with the standard. This gap will give us the action plan that we will use in the implementation, whereby we will train the relevant people on the updated systems that are needed to be compliant with the standard, and we will also update any procedures or systems that you will need to be compliant with this standard. If this type of ISO accreditation is something that you think will benefit your organization, please feel free to read all the information on this page about ISO 17025, and you can also go through other pages, namely the ISO certification page on this website, to see the accreditation process that you would need to follow to be able to receive such accreditation. If you have any further questions, please feel free to get in touch. I would love to help you to succeed in your ISO 17025 accreditation. Thank you so much.